A green company in Sudbury would be similar to winning a lottery. I'm going to share a great story with you that there's a First Nation community that had the option of 2 manufacturing options coming into their community. They did choose one. With that being said, how would you make it easier for one of these green companies to come into our city?
Well, I think the first thing I would do as a mayor, I would be inviting the people into the office to talk to me. I would be, first, I would investigate the viability of the company. In fact, if it's a real company and a real idea, because I'm a guy that has been successful over the years in really championing and getting behind what I feel are practical, doable, and realistic projects. And I would want to, of course, see exactly what the project is, talk to the proponents, and be really upfront about what the municipality can do, so that nobody's spinning the wheels related to, at the end of the day, wasting people's time for 6 or 7 months trying to do something that's never going to happen. And that is not how I've been successful in my career. Some of the major projects that I've been involved with, even as a part-time councillor and working full-time at Inco, I've been involved in some significant developments in Sudbury. And this is the way I operate, and it'd be no different. It really starts on the grassroots, the base of how you get things going initially. That's how I feel programs are successful, and picking your winners, and if they're winners and you get behind it, get council behind it, get the community behind it, so that when it hits this floor here, it ggets approved.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Drysdale?
My question is for Mayor Rodriguez. The city will build a biosolid waste processing facility to replace the dumping of sewage sludge on the valley tailing ponds. That's coming up. There is a usable resource in vegetable waste, farm slurry, and human waste. Does the city have plans to capture biomethane from that biosolid, as is being done in England, to provide methane gas to 15% of city residences?
I don't have that technical knowledge to answer your question, but we do have a very competent staff who is looking at that biosolids plant that has to be built, and they have done some lengthy investigation as to what form that biosolids plant will take, and that those proposals will come before council, and council will have to make that decision. I will take your question as notice, and when the issue comes up before council, I will pursue what you have just asked me.
It's great new technology.
Thank you. Kathy Lando? Would John Smith please come down?
First of all, thank you for being here tonight. This is a dream come true. So this is for all candidates, and I'm asking the following. Would any of the candidates be willing to use Facebook, wikis, or mass collaboration tools like we did tonight for citizen engagement to answer specific questions to specific problems? So for example, how would we go about creating more community gardens within our community? And then let the citizens answer that. So I guess this is a yes, maybe, or no answer, so it should be fast. So, where do we start?
Want to start with Derek?
Yes, Kathy, thank you for your question, and I think that that's another tool that we can use to engage people in the issues. We've seen through Facebook and blogging and Twitter and YouTube how this is actually changing how this campaign runs too. And you look at other things in our community with the Northern Life, the Sudbury Star with their online news presence. It's news on demand. And so I think it is another tool that we can use to engage people and get them involved in that decision-making process, and provide another opportunity where they might be able to find the answers that they're looking for.
Thank you. Mr. Popescu?
but each correspondent would be required to demonstrate some acknowledgement of the creator and his standards for living that affect the environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Pecanzi.
Oh, thank you very much for the question, because Facebook is actually the only way anybody's going to be able to contact me for the next couple of days. And I want to let everybody know, it would be my pleasure to add all of you as friends.
Mr. Callahan.
I would have to answer maybe. The mayor's campaign that I'm running, I provide all the answers related to Twitter and Facebook. There's nobody writing my messages. The wording comes from me directly, but someone else does it for me. And I have to be honest that I'm not that technically, I'm not very good with technology. So I can't really say that promise you or make a commitment that I would get fully engaged in that sort of communication method.
Mr. Rodriguez.
As long as I don't have to send you some Facebook stuff about how to grow a giant pumpkin.
No, I joined a group about Farmville.
But what we have at the city is we have one of the most effective IT departments here of the city, and we're always looking for new ways to engage citizens and for the citizens to be engaged with the city. So yes, I would be very much in favor of our IT department expanding their services so that citizens can in fact ask questions that are on their mind relating to issues in the city, and that they would get responses. So I'm in favor of that because it's important to have an informed citizen.
Thank you, everybody.
Mr. McIntyre. Can I have the slide come down, please?
Thank you. The size of our infrastructure in relation to the population has been brought up several times in the past 4 years. How do you plan to maximize growth on existing infrastructure and limit the sprawl? And that question's to all, and I'll start with Mr. Callahan.
Well, I think the answer to that question, the most important thing is to do some infilling, encourage infilling, and to use the existing infrastructure that we have in place. And council is really, especially this council this time, has been very, I feel, diligent in that particular area to make sure that we use the pipes and the services that we have, because it is very, very expensive to expand out, and essentially we can't even afford to service the areas that are existing already. I've got homes on them already. We just have to look at the South Shore. We have to look at where some of our business people are located. Within the news today, down in my area in Isabella Street and over on Fielding Road, these are $30–40 million projects. So infilling is important, and our planning, our plan for the city is essentially directed in that way.
Thank you. Mr. Pecanzi?
Can't be done. Unless there's a massive investment in infrastructure. Like the question you have to ask yourself, how many bridges have to fall down before you realize your structure is falling apart in too many areas. Yes, they built a nice new section on the south. They're building a nice new section on Paris Street. You know, that's well and fine. But all that is dependent on a grant from a higher government. Unless somebody comes up with a significant improvement on the monetary revenues and finds a way of doing that, and we all know, and I think everybody in this room will agree with me, a significant rise in taxes will have a catastrophic effect on the social structure of this town. It will inspire a redone. So there has to be new initiatives on revenue sources. And I've identified several, or at least a couple.
Thank you very much. Mr. Young.
Thank you, Jeff, for your question. Some very valid issues that have been raised there as it relates to urban sprawl and growth. I think we need to look at new ways of attracting new industries to our community, and ensuring that we have the infrastructure in place to be able to attract that industry here. We look at immigration as one opportunity to be able to grow our city, and Northern Ontario is a very viable option for immigration and is a very livable city. We should also look at new technologies as to how we're building some of our infrastructures to find efficiencies. One of the other things that I'm proposing is the establishment of community integration networks, so that we're working with our service clubs, business community, not-for-profit organizations, council and staff to find some common ground and to find efficiencies. And I think we need to make sure that our bylaws reflect this new growth as well.
Thank you very much.
There is no doubt that we are living with our development sins of the past. And if you look around, you see sprawl. And that's why it was important for us to establish an official plan. We finally got an official plan, and it's going to be reviewed in 2012. And we must use infilling. I mentioned that when I was talking about public transit. If you can infill where we are right now on the official plan, then it makes it easy to use the existing infrastructure to service those homes. We're also looking at industrial lands. We've got a study going right now to identify, we've picked 6 areas that we're looking for industrial lands to be serviced. And that's where industrial development will be encouraged to locate. That's the whole point of it. We had one announced yesterday, fantastic one by one of our developers in town. And that's how we have to go.
Thank you very much.
Build all over it.
Mr. Popescu.
I think there are vast resources to finances to be drawn from organizations that have promoted offensive things in the sight of God the Creator. For example, organizations that promote sexual sin, that's broadcasters or places that sell pornography or publish it, organizations that promote drunkenness, that's the liquor industry, has gotten fat and rich too, on taking advantage of our vices. Organizations that promote atheism, that fly in the face of God the Creator. Let's tax those fellows and use the money in other areas of need.
Thank you very much. Can I have Emily Trotsky come down, please?
This question is for Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Callahan. As energy costs rise at an ever-increasing rate, many taxpayers in older homes in the city will be faced with either paying their energy bill or paying their taxes, but possibly not both. What will you do to assist citizens in older homes to do energy retrofits to those homes?
The challenge related to doing retrofits in older homes is not insurmountable, but there's a lot of difficulty associated with it. There are various grants that the province and the federal government provides some grants related. But I think, John, you know that most of them are not that effective and they're extremely bureaucratic. And the municipality, quite frankly, to get in that game of doing refits on homes is not in practice. And I don't know what can be done other than possibly coming in with a tax deferral program or some sort of a program that we can defer property tax. It's something that the Seniors Advisory Panel is working on, and it's something I want to pursue in the new term, but I did not want to make it an election issue.